Good day, everyone. My name is Kautsar, and today I'm going to present an issue regarding the influence of the Internet of Things on the travel and tourism industry. To begin, let's start with what exactly is the Internet of Things. IoT or Internet of Things is premised on a simple question: what would happen if thing A could communicate with thing B? So it's sort of like what would happen if your car could communicate with your home, or what would happen if hotel rooms could communicate with the customers. Well, according to Hyder and Weiss in 2019, that question can all be possible with the Internet of Things because it's a network of interrelated computing devices that are embedded with sensors, actuators, and other necessary electronics that allow them to exchange data over a network. A thing in the Internet of Things can be a person with a heart monitor and implant, a farm animal with a biochip, or even an automobile that has a built sensors, or any man-made object that can be assigned to an IP address so that it can transfer data over a network. The term IoT is mainly used for devices that wouldn't usually expected to have an internet connection and also can communicate with a network that independently without human intervention. For for this reason, a PC isn't generally considered an IoT device, and neither is a smartphone, even though smartphones are crammed with sensors. However, a smartwatch or a fitness brand or other wearable device might be counted as an IoT device. Moving on, there are types of Internet things based on its functions. First, introducing the Internet of Military Things, or IOMT, often referred as the Battlefield IoT or the Internet of Battlefield Things. But for now, I'm going to refer it as IOMT. IOMT is precisely what it sounds like. Its use is for military settings and battlefield situations. It is aimed to increase situational awareness and improve response times. Common IoMT applications include connecting ships, planes, drones, and tanks. It produces data that can be leveraged to improve military practices. The second type of IoT is the consumer IoT, or people call it CIoT. It refers to the use of IoT for consumer applications and devices. Common CIoT products include smart wearables, smart assistants, and home appliances. Typically, CIoT uses Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and Zigbee to facilitate their connectivity. These technologies offer short-range communications suitable for deployments in smaller areas, such as homes and offices. While CIoT tends to focus on augmenting personal and home environments, commercial IoT goes a bit further, delivering the benefits of IoT to larger venues, for example, commercial office buildings, supermarkets, stores, hotels, healthcare facilities, and entertainment venues. There are numerous cases for commercial IoT and their usages as well, including monitoring the environmental conditions for commercial use and and managing access to corporate facilities. Many commercial IoT solutions are geared towards improving customer experiences and business conditions similar to CIoT. Continuing to the last two types of IoT, industrial IoT or IIoT is perhaps the most dynamic wing of the IoT industry. Its focus is on augmenting existing industrial systems, making them both more productive and more efficient. It typically found in large-scale factories, manufacturing plants, and are often associated with healthcare, agriculture, automotive, and logistics. And the most well-known example of IIoT is the industrial internet. The infrastructure IoT is concerned with the development of smart infrastructures that incorporate IoT technologies to boost efficiency, cost savings, maintenance, and others alike. This includes the ability to monitor and control operations of urban and rural infrastructures. And technically speaking, infrastructure IoT is a subset of IoT. However, because of its significance and function, it's often treated as its own separate type. Now let's talk about the other variable of the topic, which is travel and tourism industry. So what is a tourist and what is a tourism industry? So individuals become tourists when they voluntarily leave their normal surroundings and visit another environment. These individuals will usually initiate different activities regardless of how close or how far this environment or destination is. So therefore, tourists are visitors, and what they do while visiting another place can be called tourism. Now, the tourism industry's major function is to serve the travelers, or the tourists. Its succeeds depends on the positive interrelationships of the sectors. So, how many major sectors in travel and tourism industry? Well, there are four. The first is the transportation, which include transportations that is airborne, land, or waterborne. And the second is accommodation, which is a sector that is responsible for hotels, villas, campings, and others alike. And third is the ancillary services, includes the tourist publications, financial services, public services, and entertainments. And finally, the sales and distribution, which focuses on the travel agency operations. So what happens to travel and tourism in the 21st century? According to the World Travel and Tourism Council, it is in 2016, there's an increase of an above average tourist arrivals, approximately 1.2 billion. And in 2019, tourism sector is responsible for 10% of the world's GDP. And it has also created approximately 330 million jobs in the same year, which is in 2019. Average, there's 1 out of 10 jobs that is related to travel and tourism industry. Unfortunately, those statistics was taken before the pandemic, and after the pandemic, the travel industry has become worse. So, according to the World Travel and Tourism Council, which is the same source that taken the statistics before, the pandemic has landed a huge blow on the tourism sector. That research found that this pandemic has impacted worse to the tourism industry than any other recorded pandemic. Other facts regarding this phenomena includes the 75 million workers, which has an immediate job risk of losing their jobs. And then the potential travel tourism GDP loss in 2020 is up to 2.1 trillion US dollars. And there's an estimate of a daily loss of 1 million jobs in the travel and tourism sector. So what is the function of IoT to the travel industry? First is the smart machine. With the sensing, communication, and processing capabilities, smart machine can be intelligently networked and combined as an autonomous system. It means the self-awareness enables them to detect potential runtime risks and inform the other parties about the risk before the error even occurs. So the smart machines are also connected with other fault devices and humans to inform them. The remote control capability also allows smart machines to operate and be repaired remotely. As a result, the smart machines achieve self-awareness, self-operability, and maintenance. And thus it needs less human involvement, and it also saves more time. The second function is the manufacturing IT, which represents the IT infrastructure that is required in smart devices. The manufacturing IT includes the algorithms and softwares, which is, for example, like the AI in the IoT device that are used by the devices, and also the hardware infrastructure such as the sensors and actuators that provide the smart monitoring and control over the physical machines. Essentially, it is the one responsible for managing the data gathered by the smart machines before it uploaded to the network. The third function is the smart logistics. Smart logistics is an intelligent warehousing system that have properties of cost saving, management efficiency, improvement, and other advantages, and also can reduce the ultimate cost of current logistic solutions, Essentially, IoT has the ability to calculate and save operational costs that are not needed. Continuing to the other functions of IoT for travel industry. Next is the smart grid. Similar to logistics, but in this case, in the form of energy saving, the smart grid includes the smart infrastructures in field of energy supply. Smart grid is essential to react to changes in energy prices and achieve a better energy saving in the production. Next is the smart suppliers. So industrial sensing technologies in smart manufacturing not only collect the, smart suppliers not only collect the production data and provide real-time monitoring on the machines through intelligent sensors, but they also collect the data from supply and consumers. The data helps the manufacturers to predict future demands, increase flexibility by selecting the best supplier based on the historical consumption and logistics data. And finally, the big data and cloud computing. So basically, big data is where the information from the IoT devices that has collected go to, and all relevant information is to improve the tourism industry is all collected in the big data. With cloud computing, data processing will become one cloud service and bring opportunities for improving the productivity of tourism. So what can the functions of IoT help travel industry in the pandemic? First, it can enhance the health and safety. Customer experience and the welfare of the tourist health is the priority of the IoT improvements, is the priority, and it can help to smooth the process so important requirements is being taken care of. For example, like certain countries have a mandate that citizens must update their health information that is particularly important when it comes to carrying documentation if they have vaccinated against COVID or they have undergone a recent PCR test. Wearable tech devices can enable tourists to practice correct social distancing and maintain other health and safety compliance parameters. Customer information is also can be enhanced. For example, one of the most critical aspects of using IoT in tourism is the ability to personalize what's on offer based on information collected and obtained from the tourist connectivity itself. So basically, the fact of knowing what tourists like and don't like will help to personalize what is offered to them by sending them custom-made information and fulfilling their expectations. And consequently, it will result to making them a loyal customers. This will also help businesses understand if travelers are high risk or have special requirements in terms of social distancing and traveling. The third is the location information. Companies operating in the travel industry can also use it to gather valuable data. By combining smartphones and beacon technology, messages can be sent to tourists at the point where they are most relevant or important based on where they are, and therefore let them know about any news of COVID-19 numbers in the area. This may be news of recent outbreak of COVID, or in less severe cases, can be sending messages about local attractions and times when they are least busy. The IoT can also be used to gather accurate data about the number of people using specific hotel facilities, so the staffing levels can be optimized. So with IoT, the ways of working in the tourism industry will change significantly. With lesser manpower needed, most operations will be focused on managing data generated by travelers, equipment, and vehicles, be it like sanitizers, dispensers, or autonomous machinery, changing the way people work. it changes the way people work. And this will enable the tourism industry to better serve their customers while keeping them safe and reassured. And by remodeling their businesses, they can achieve new levels. So I have required this example of IoT in travel industries, but unfortunately, I can't find the application of IoT for industry in the pandemic era.
Tourism is a key factor in the Spanish economy as it contributes about 11% of GDP. Spain is the third world destination by volume of international tourists. In order to maintain this leading position in the international tourism sector, it is essential to anticipate the needs of tourists to be more competitive. Given this challenge, Segitur has developed the Tourist Intelligence System, a pioneering initiative that converts the data generated by tourists into the destination in knowledge. It offers the necessary information to the companies and the managers of the destinations to increase their productive capacity, boost the competitiveness, and manage in a more efficiently sustainable way. On the other hand, it contributes to increase the provision to visitors, adapting the offer to the new demands and needs. The Tourist Intelligence System is a key tool for destinations to be managed in a more efficient and sustainable manner.
This is my references. Thank you very much. If anyone have any question, please comment below. Thank you.